Hello, and welcome back to another Pen Talk. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining me virtually, which is good. I'm still recovering from COVID, and my voice reflects that. But welcome to the wide world of pens and Chris's pen journey. And after you've done 700 plus videos on fountain pens, it's a challenge to come up with something new, something motivating, something that I want to do. And that's pretty much what drives me. And I have no schedules. I could publish 10 times a week or once a month. It depends upon how I get motivated. So I was on a buy no pen hiatus for a couple months. Didn't last long. Didn't expect it to last long. And I got excited. I saw a posting. Somebody says, oh, Hongdian, they all make unique pens. I'm really happy with their designs. So I go on to AliExpress and I find the Hongdian store, or at least what appears to be the Hongdian store. And they have some very interesting pens. So I bought 3 of them, and I was in the stealth pen mode. And these are all very stealthy. The one in the middle is the most stealthy, but the other 2 have a darker trim to them, which I think blends in well. They all have black nibs, and they all feel great in the hand, and they're made very well, and et cetera, et cetera. So we're not going to do any writing in this video, but I just wanted to show you these pens, point out the Hongdian store on AliExpress, and just encourage you just to window shop. And I think that to me is as enjoyable as buying, but I did get a little bit of a rush when these pens showed up. And yes, they're on a turntable, and I did add some crabs because you want a splash of color amongst these stealthy pens. So we're going to look at each of them very quickly, go over some of their characteristics, and we'll get a full review a little bit later on. Crabs are winking at you. So what was really nice, stuffed inside of the box, which appeared to have a fair amount of damage on the outside, but once you opened it up, everything was extremely well packed in bubble wrap. Here's this very, very nice high-end fashion bag that one would have assumed that if you go to the Hongdian store, and I'm assuming there's one somewhere in China, and you bought your Hongdian pens, you were able to carry them home in this very, very attractive, high-end, luxury-looking bag. Nice gold foil printing. So all 3 pens came in very nice boxes. Very well protected within the boxes. If you pull off this one, little tab there, you'll see 2 boxes of cartridges. So you get cartridges with this one. But again, just very, very well done. Heavy duty. I like it. And of course, wouldn't be out complete without a metal box. Very tastefully done. And this one included 2 extra nibs. It was sold in China with a bottle of ink, but they're not going to ship a bottle of ink, so they gave you 2 nibs. So we're going to start with the Ebony Wood Model 660. Just a classic design. Nice rounded ends. And I like this dark chrome finish on the trim bits. And they use the same engraving on the cap bands that they did on the other 660, which we just happen to have here. Gold-plated trim with a nice tiger wood pen and the same type of engraving. I like the fact that Hongdian's pretty consistent about putting the model on the pen. Sometimes it's at a top finial, but in this case it's at the cap band, which is good. And that cap band is right at the bottom, which is where you would like it to be to ensure the structural integrity of this wood pen. The cap comes off in about 1 1/4 turns, and we'll see a really nice black nib. I think Hongdian does this as well as anybody. And a nice black section and they continued on with that dark trim. Just some interesting engravings in that band, and that's part of the disassembly process to access the converter. I love this kind of matte silvery finish, and it is a branded converter. They all work well. Frosted piece here. And I like the fact that they have this metal bits that reinforce the wood. And we're going to look inside the cap. I've darkened the room, but it is daylight, but it's kind of stormy today, so a lot of cloud cover. Look in there, we'll see a nice plastic liner. I don't have any trouble with these 660s drying up, but that's nice the way they've designed it. One piece, nice small area for that nib to fit into. This is going to show fingerprints, so if that's something of concern, I would definitely make certain I had a nice cotton cloth to wipe it down with in between use to keep it nice and pristine looking. So next, we're going to look at the 517D, and here they've stenciled on the brand and the model on the back of the cap. Another nice feature. Same type of dark chrome trim bits on this pen as was on the 660. They're just very, very well done. Very nice pen. The cap pops off and we see another nice black nib. Really nice section. This pen just has a matte feel to it that I've never felt in any other pen. It almost feels like it's a rubberized material. I think it's amazing. And this is also referred to as Black Samurai, which I think is an appropriate term, not consistently applied. So one might say, Chris, I recognize that design, and yes, I have this version of it in stainless steel, and this one just has the model engraved on the back of the cap. It says a 517S. Maybe the S stands for stainless steel. Everything else is pretty much the same. One of the things that I don't talk about too much, but these are nice solid clips. Very stiff, but very functional. But one of the differences on the stainless steel one is the cap unscrews. A little over 1 1/4 turns, and we'll see a nice textured section and just a stainless steel fine nib. Same engravings and everything else on the nib, same plastic feed. And this pen has been inked up since the day I got it with Noodler's Lexington Gray, which I really enjoy using. I hadn't used this pen for a month or so. Took the cap off and it wrote right away, so one can expect that we're going to have the same type of performance in the Black Stealthy model. I'm just impressed with how they've taken the design, and I think the snap cap is an improvement over the screw cap. I mentioned that when I first reviewed this pen, as I kept trying to pull the cap off instead of unscrewing it. Now with this one, I just pulled the cap off. Very nice how they've taken that design to a whole nother level in my eyes. So last but not least, the third pen, the most stealthiest pen of the group, is this model. And some of you who are experienced in the pen world might recognize the model. I had this vague little itch in my mind, and so I found it. It resembles Faber-Castell Emotion. Here it is on Amazon. But this is a Hongdian branded model, and it's at the top of the cap like a Black Forest one would be. And this has the same kind of like dark finish on all the bits. It's a little bit heavier metal pen than the other ones, but still very classic in design. Kind of like a faux carbon fiber here on the barrel. And the cap unscrews about 1 1/2 turns, and we'll see a nice black vent nib. I got another one of these in a fine nib in that package with this pen. A very strong, sturdy clip. Can't fault Hongdian for giving you wimpy clips because they all seem to be very, very sturdy. And it's nice when this unscrews. There's a good feel to it. There's a little rubber O-ring down there at the bottom, which I really like because you can feel that tighten up in that last couple turns. Standard converter, nothing special. That spring I will remove. You can see some brass in there. Didn't get plated, but that's fine because that's the inside of the pen. I'll probably put a little silicone grease on those threads because there seems to be a little bit of gunk there. I'll clean them off with one of my bristle brushes. It's an interesting design there at the bottom of the cap, kind of replicating some type of cap band. Certainly is different than the pen that it emulates. So to me, I look at this pen for what it is, not what it looks like, or not what it might resemble. That's just my approach. It's a pen. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Does it serve its purpose well? Is it made well? Do you feel good when you pick it up and hold it in your hand? That's the important part. And this pen certainly has a lot going for it, at least as we see it in front of us now. So we're going to sum up the three pens and call it a wrap. So here we have three stealthy Hongdian pens. I think all three of them are very nice pens. I think they have a lot of potential. And I just enjoy the details in how Hongdian has taken some existing models and put them into stealth mode. I like the dark chrome. They're just nice, and I thoroughly enjoy getting these in the mail. Kind of officially breaking my buy no pen period. And I bought more pens because I recently got in the mail these two pens. So expect a review of these soon. They're certainly eye candy pens at best. And let's see how they write. I just can't stop buying pens, especially when pens like this are available. So that's the wrap. I hope this video finds all of you safe, healthy, and happy, enjoying your pens, maybe getting some new pens, maybe just getting a pen that you put away a while ago and inking it up and going, wow, I really like this pen. So that's fun part of pens, and it's a fun part of collecting and having more than one, which I do have more than one. Thank you all for watching. We've reached the end of this video, and we're going to say bye-bye until the next video. Be safe.